As I was thinking about the responsibility I have to people, first being a professed Christian, right? And being a spiritual leader. But at some point in time, we have to reconcile faith and science, common sense and spirituality.
Did this really start 9 months ago? And all of a sudden we have a vaccine? And the answer to that is no. The technology that is used for this particular vaccine that we have right now actually started back in the early 90s. And then, oh, by the way, from a research standpoint, typically you need a lot of patients to do studies, right? And if you were studying some, obscure disease or virus that didn't have a lot of patients, it would take a long time to get up enough patients to make a study powered for safety and efficacy. But with this pandemic and with government, National Institute of Health, support, all of a sudden they said, you know what? We have all these patients. We're in the middle of a pandemic. All these patients were enrolled. We got the data. We got the data relatively quickly.
To come to a hospital and to see an emergency room be entirely shut down, to not be able to take gunshot wounds or heart attacks or strokes, any kind of serious injury because they have too many, sick patients with COVID in their emergency room and these patients that are in the ICU, they are there for the extended length of time.
Is, well, if it's a 99.99% recovery rate, why are we still locking things down and why is everything still so serious? But I want people to think about these numbers. If there's about 330 million people in the United States, but there's less than 1 million hospital beds. If 1% of the population gets sick from COVID, that occupies all of the beds, and let's be honest, there's not even enough for 1% to get sick. That means that 3.3 million people will be getting sick, right? We don't have enough beds to be able to accommodate that amount of people out of 330 million people. We're talking about Black scientists such as, Mika Corbett that is there studying the actual vaccine and helping to develop it itself. I always just bring up prevention is better than treatment. Long story short, would you rather prevent the gunshot or treat the wound?